Right. So there's a lot of saying that I'm the only one that called my little brother Bubba, that's not even something that the rest of the family did. That's a lie. We all called him Bubba. Even my older sister's children called him Bubba. That was what his name was. Kathy says that I'm the only one that called him that, and she won't use it because it's a childish name. But then she calls my mother Mim. She said so herself. She took care of her Mims. What's the difference between a Mims and a Bubba? The difference is who it is that's using the term. Anything that Kathy says is perfectly fine. If she wants to call her sister Mims, that's not childish at all. But if the entire family chooses to call our brother Bubba, that's the most childish, stupid thing she's ever heard of, and she's not going to acknowledge it. It's part of the dehumanization of my brother. They won't even acknowledge that he was a person worthy of a nickname. He wasn't a person worthy of a headstone. He was a secret, hidden away, laying in that chair. And people always tried to dehumanize him. Even other kids. I told y'all we had kids that made fun of him once when we first moved. But also in school, I was a senior, and a boy got very angry at me in class. I don't fully remember what the topic was, but he got very angry at me and was like screaming at me, "What, are you gonna wipe your brother's ass for the rest of his life?" Things like that. It was a pretty heated argument. And so there's always going to be people that will see a handicapped person and think that they're useless. They're just hide them away until their body fades out, and then don't acknowledge them anymore because they couldn't do anything for anybody, so what good were they? Bubba did a lot of good. He brought a lot of comfort to me because he was always happy. Just being in the room with him, you could feel his happiness. Anyways, so they're also saying that I'm the only one that called my grandmother Meemaw. And that's true. I am the only one that used that term. But our family is very divided. See, I called her that. And I think my little sister once in a while, but my little sister and my older sister, they did not talk to my grandmother. She had it out for them, they had it out for her. My grandmother's other children, right? She has one older daughter, and her older daughter's children call her Mommy. So I called Meemaw Meemaw, and Catherine's children called her Mommy, and Kathy's children called her grandmother. It's each section of our family had a different name for her. It has nothing to do with me needing to be different. If anything, it would be Kathy needing to be different and not using the term mommy created by the eldest, who had the first granddaughter, who would have been the one to decide the name, right? First one picks the name. But instead, every family picked a different one. And she meant something different to every family. Y'all don't understand my family because you're only listening to Kathy. And Kathy was not around and only sees her family as mattering. And she has been dehumanizing me and dehumanizing my little brother for so long. the very first video she made saying that her grandchildren are better than me and always will be. That's dehumanizing to me. Telling me that I'll never even account to as much as a 2-year-old. Everything that they do to dehumanize me, that they have done to dehumanize my brother, it breaks a person down. It over time, it truly collapses a soul. To have it day after day be told that you're nothing, you're worthless, you're ugly, you're garbage, nobody loves you, nobody respects you, nobody cares about you, everything you know is stupid and a lie. Even if we convince you that things happened, if you talk about it, we'll convince you they didn't happen because you're a liar. But I haven't lied. Y'all have lied a lot. When this first started with Daywave, they said they had done extensive research and couldn't find anything about the murder, so I was lying about that existing entirely. And then I literally step by step showed them the articles, and that's where they created the new story, that I was the one that instigated it all, that I was the murderer, I was the horrible person. And they completely ignored the fact that this pedophile found me on Craigslist and gave me a fake identity and lured me for months. They completely ignore the fact that my family is disturbingly abusive. And Kathy has proved that with her videos and with her association with the cyber terrorists who have been trying to make me hurt myself for a year because they make good money when they hurt people. It's a messed up situation, and I'm screaming out to be heard by the right people who will be able to help. Because if people start listening and talking about the reality and the truth, which is that I grew up in an extremely abusive situation, and then I had an abusive marriage, and everything that has happened has created the person that I am now. And nobody in my family is going to be able to tell you much about who I am now, because I am not the person I was when I was with them. Kathy knows nothing about me. She never did. All she ever knew about me was that as a kid I might have been smart, and then when they realized that I was actually just crazy, because schizophrenics often have high intelligences, but then they can't do anything with it because they're fucking schizophrenic. Yay! It's a fucking double-sided gift. And my family can't even accept that I deal with it. That my mom dealt with it. That my grandmother dealt with it. That my grandmother's mother spent the majority of her life in a mental hospital. It wasn't for no reason. There has to be a way to find the truth through all of my aunt's bullshit. There has to be a way to at least defend my little brother. Because with everything that he suffered through in his life, he doesn't deserve to forever be remembered as a potato that people go and piss on. He deserves better. We all deserve better, but it's him that really breaks me and makes me want to scream so that everybody hears. Because he deserves so much better.